Here is the hard truth. It is rarely your age that turns a younger woman off. It is the specific behaviors you adopt because of your age. You might have the experience, the resources, and the maturity she craves. But if you fall into one of the 7 psychological traps we are discussing today, you are actively killing her attraction to you. Most older men don't even realize they are doing this until she pulls away. Today, we are breaking down the female psychology behind age gap relationships and the 7 fatal mistakes that transform you from a high-value partner into a burden she wants to escape. Welcome back. We are talking about age gap relationships. Biologically and psychologically, it makes sense why these pairings happen. Men value youth and vitality. Women value stability, competence, and resources. However, the dynamic is fragile. When you date a woman significantly younger than you, the power balance can shift overnight if you display insecurity. We are going to cover 7 specific habits that ruin these relationships. These aren't just annoyances, they are attraction killers. They destroy the sexual polarity essential for a romantic connection. If you want to keep her interested and respectful, you need to eliminate these behaviors immediately. Habit 1. The father figure trap. The first and most common mistake is slipping into the role of a father rather than a partner. There is a fine line between offering guidance and being controlling. Because you have more life experience, it is tempting to correct her, manage her decisions, or lecture her on how the world works. Psychologically, this is a disaster for attraction. The moment she feels like you are parenting her, the sexual dynamic dies. Freud aside, women do not want to sleep with their fathers. They want a partner who respects their autonomy. When you constantly correct her or try to mold her into a better version of herself, you aren't showing wisdom. You are showing a lack of respect for her agency. The fix. Be a mentor, not a manager. Offer advice only when asked. Respect that she needs to make her own mistakes to grow, just like you did. If you treat her like a child, she will eventually rebel like one. Habit 2. Overcompensating with resources. Habit number 2 is leading with your wallet. Many older men feel a deep-seated insecurity that they aren't enough, physically compared to younger guys, so they overcompensate with money, gifts, and status. Here is the psychology. If you lead with money, you are establishing a transactional relationship. You are essentially telling her, my value is my bank account. This attracts the wrong type of woman, those looking for a payout, and repels the high-quality women who want a genuine connection. Furthermore, if a woman feels you are trying to buy her affection, she will lose respect for you. She will see you as a resource, not a lover. The fix. Use your resources to create experiences you can share, not to buy her compliance. Do not lead with your wallet. Let your personality, your confidence, and your character be the primary draw. Habit 3. Age insecurity and jealousy. This brings us to the 3rd habit, and this is the one that destroys relationships the fastest. Insecurity manifesting as jealousy. You see her talking to a guy her own age, maybe someone who is broke but physically in his prime, and you panic. You start asking where she's been, who she's texting, or making snide comments about immature or younger guys. In female psychology, nothing is less attractive than a man who is insecure about his position. If you are constantly worried she's going to leave you for someone younger, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Your jealousy signals that you believe the younger guy is better than you. She chose you. She is with you. When you act possessive, you signal weakness. The fix. Own your age. Your confidence in your value is what attracted her. If you act threatened by younger men, you lower your status immediately. Trust the frame you've built. Habit 4. Ignoring life. Stage energy. Habit number 4 is a failure to respect her life stage and energy levels. You might be in a harvest phase of life. You've built your career, you want to relax, enjoy fine dining, and go to bed early. She might be in her building phase. She has high energy, wants to explore, network, and be social. The mistake is trying to suppress her energy to match yours. If you constantly say no to her desire for adventure because you're too old for that, she will eventually find someone else to do those things with. The fix. You don't have to go to the club every night, but you cannot be a wet blanket. Compromise. Encourage her independence to do high-energy things with her friends or suck it up occasionally and join her. Do not make her feel guilty for having the vitality of youth. That vitality is exactly what you were attracted to in the first place. Habit 5. The generational disconnect. Habit 5 is dismissing generational differences, specifically regarding values and technology. If you find yourself constantly criticizing social media, modern career paths, or the way her generation views the world, you are becoming the old man yelling at clouds. Dismissing her generation's culture makes her feel unheard and judged. It creates a psychological wall where she feels she can share her world with you because I'll just mock it. The fix. You don't have to love TikTok, but you have to respect that it's part of her reality. Be curious rather than judgmental. Ask her why she values certain things. Bridge the gap with communication, not condescension. When you show interest in her world, you keep the connection alive. Habit 6. Relying solely on the age gap. Habit 6 is relying on the age gap itself as the main source of attraction. In the beginning, the dynamic is novel. You are the older man, she is the younger woman. It's exciting, but novelty fades. If the only thing holding you together is the fact that you are older and she is younger, the relationship has no substance. This is a major attraction killer long term. If you haven't built shared interests, shared values, and a genuine friendship, the relationship will collapse once the initial spark wears off. The fix. Cultivate common ground that has nothing to do with age. What books do you both read? What hobbies do you share? Build a relationship that would still work if you were the same age. Habit 7. The future blind spot. Finally, habit number 7. Failing to plan for the long-term reality. This is the uncomfortable truth. If you are 50 and she is 25, in 20 years, the dynamic will be radically different. Issues of health, retirement, and perhaps most importantly, children need to be addressed. Ignoring these discussions creates low-level anxiety in her. She needs to know you have a plan. If you avoid the topic of aging or family because it kills the vibe, you are signaling that you are only in it for the short term. The fix. Have the hard conversations early. Be realistic about what the future looks like and how you will handle it together. Leadership is about facing reality, not hiding from it. Conclusion. Dating a younger woman can be incredibly fulfilling, but only if you approach it with awareness and respect. It requires you to be secure in who you are, respectful of who she is, and realistic about the differences between you. Don't be the dad, don't be the bank, and don't be the jealous, insecure guy. Be the partner. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. We cover the psychology of relationships, success, and high-performance living every week. See you in the next video.